See, got that kind. I like to cast that kind of ambiance. Of psst, like look, like you're walking past the alley in Memphis, and you hear psst, and there's there's someone in the alley and you can't see him. Basically, anyway, it's like the biblical Mandela effect. Yeah, man, dude, I got so many backed up videos, man. It's just like my machine's clogged. So I ran out of time when I was speaking on it. Kind of got my train of thoughts hijacked for a moment. I had to put it on the bike burner. But I heard this on this Kev Baker dude show. Now thinking about it, not too long ago, I made a video about Bannock and fry bread, and it was like it mentioned the Scots in there. That's where it came from. And then I went on this tangent about the white man killing the Indian, and I didn't mean no ill towards Scots. You know what I'm saying? Actually, there's an Indian chief named Osceola, and he was a half Scottish man actually as well, and he was a real tricky guy, according to some of the information out there about him, and it's just like Quanah Parker. You know what I'm saying? Not all Indians were full blood Indians, but they still were allowed to chieftain status, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like they were talking about the biblical Mandela effect, and I was already thinking about it before they said it, but I was glad to hear someone else catch it because no one's actually went there yet. And I was trying to explain earlier about how, okay, what I was doing is laying out parameters, you know what I'm saying, and describe, okay, this is one thing that if it was that, it would exhibit these symptoms here. Like if it was from remastering on videos, because I'm trying to explain the Mandela effect as well because it's got it in the name. So it basically means that something changes in such a way it's almost freaking impossible to change unless you look at it from this angle. It's like Back to the Future. This is the best nutshell definition of what a Mandela effect is. When Marty McFly is always looking at this photo, this is his like meter, his warning meter that he's messing up because the picture will change as he goes back in time and changes different things. This is the only thing that can truly accommodate the Mandela effect. It can't be magicianed because the books from the 80s have changed, even though we all remember it different. Lately, I've been seeing while I'm making videos, there'll be a glitch. And I'm starting to freaking think, like on the Matrix, when you see the cat go by twice, they say they just reprogrammed the programming. And I'm starting to wonder now, are you witnessing a Mandela? Because these time waves, they're messing with freaking CERN. You go back and look at the Egyptians now, and they're all, mystery school, and they said we will be, we need to mummify people so they can be reconstituted in the future. Because there's no reason, if you're going on to the afterlife, then why are you thinking that your body's gonna be reanimated? You know what I'm saying? Where did this come from? They say, there is rumors that Obama was a child psychic spy, that time traveler. I mean, that's good freaking propaganda if he's not. But let's entertain this for a second. You know what I'm saying? That they also say he's a clone of Akhenaten. That's attainable in these days if you have a freaking time machine, and it would explain it. It's like, look, we just got Terminator time warped here. We don't have the technology to offer you now at this time, since we showed up naked and off in somewhere, and you can't carry nothing with you because the molecules like on Star Trek phase in someone and reconstituting them in another place. I mean, at least in Star Trek, they figured out how to transport people with their belongings. But let's just assume, because if they could bring the technology with them, why didn't they just set up shop back then and we wouldn't exist anymore like Marty McFly's picture? Like basically in a way you erase it to the point where you cease to exist anymore. And it doesn't seem that that is going on yet, but there are subtle changes and fluctuations. And sometimes I can't find scriptures that I know were there. Like I'll Google them, and I can't find the information. And it also happened like they've slowly extracted out Yi Jing information. That's I Ching, it's spelled. And it's like there's a reason for that because it's connected to CERN. I've already made this point a long time ago too about it. And in Ezekiel, he's talking about a wheel within a wheel, and he says it looked like unto a terrible crystal. And if you watch that movie, the Avengers, they have a time portal, or what is the one where they go back to Egypt, back in time, a man who would be king, retold Stargate. And the Stargate looks kind of like maybe terrible crystal. But so today, someone was like, well, my Bible is from 1963. And I goes, if that's the way you're looking at it, then you're not really getting what the Mandela effect really is. It's not that it can't be done in such by a purely cunning, crafty switcheroo. It can't be done through switcheroo. And at first it seemed as if it could be switcheroo and like it seems like they're freaking playing games with you. But no, I mean, it really is kind of like it's emerging into a memory hole type of a situation, because it's like the memories we remember don't exist anymore, obviously, because there is no Berenstain Bears. All there is this Berenstain Bear. It's like these cartoon characters I never grew up with. I grew up with another. And I have vivid recollections of this. See, this is where it all came from, too, is the Berenstain Bears. And it turned into Berenstain Bears all of a sudden. And all kinds of people are like, wait a second, I remember this. And then there's other people that say that that's the way they always remembered it. And there's like some kind of, it's just like in the sky. They think they can beam the sky with HAARP, heat the fucking atmosphere, and it's not going to cause adverse butterfly effect, Murphy's Law, chaos theory. It's not going to, there's nothing bad's going to go wrong here. So I'd imagine time should be in a similar fashion, that if you push one side of it, it creates a vacuum which sucks in another side. So cause and effect again. You cannot escape that natural law. It's a universal law. You know what I'm saying? They're principles. They can be manipulated. You know what I'm saying? But they can't be outright controlled by human beings. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like there's certain things, like if it was never broke, the more you try to fix it, the more it withers, the more it falls apart, the more you do damage to it. And that's exactly, it does appear that there is some real messed up shit. Because if they are going back in time, they're not stopping pollution. They're not stopping the mass genocides. They're not being they're not changing things for the better. They're setting up for the global takedown in a way. And the only person who would be that evil and that twisted is somewhat the devil himself, almost. So I mean, it is that type of a thing here, man. You're really dealing with these freaking devils, demons, angels. You know what I'm saying? Some people call them aliens, and some call them the Nordics, the Greys, the reptilian, draconian. So it's like they go by the jinn, they go by many names, but it's like this is where these people are receiving this knowledge from. It seems as if out of nowhere, but if you understand quantum physics, dimensions, the potentiality of them. See, these things were all just theories for years and years and years before they ever could prove that these theories were actually correct. So people like me, I might believe in something that sounds so outlandish, impossible, and crazy to you at your present level of perception. But in all actuality, after I'm dead and gone, they'll look back on these videos and go, you know what, that's right, we've proven this now. So I'm not trying to prop myself up there. I'm just using it as an example of how it could work. Like Einstein, for instance, some of his stuff was proven correct years after he was gone. Some of it wasn't. It was close, but it wasn't quite there. There's something else yet to be revealed. And when you're coming from that type of an angle, there's no way you can actually. It's almost impossible to manifest the things that you're thinking about and seeing, because it's freaking hieroglyphics for the most part. It's like only an esoteric amount of people, which is knowledge confined to a small circle, have access to that type of the mechanisms that can develop that type of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because most people can't do it. They don't have visualization. They can't see things in their mind and how they could work, and then therefore develop ways of setting about to prove it. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing here. So you can't knock us just because we're speaking on things we can't prove yet. This is where the woo is. This is what the woo is all about. It's boldly walking into unknown territory. And one good thing, I learned from watching the woo fringe crowd is that a lot of especially like that Kev Baker show, it's like, look, these guys give you some grave information, but everyone's freaking laughing and having a great time doing it. And that's the real spirit that it takes to face these things and not let them destroy you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't laugh about it, it's doing something wrong for you. If you're letting it bring you all the way down, your intake of information is based from it's all fear based, and people who are constantly fear basing you to keep you in line and busy fighting with ghosts. It's like, look, you're not going to be able to effectively engage these things like others are, and part of it is from that merry heart. But I know you're trying your damnedest to do a decent thing. I'm not even saying a great thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to make more of it. It is, but I'm not trying to downplay it too much neither. And it's like the merry heart does good like a medicine, and that's truly is setting a good example for others to emulate. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everyone has the right to believe the things that they need to believe until they want to know different. Because if you want to keep going on believing the way that you believe, you will. But when you open your mind, man, to the potentiality that you might not know it all, it's real easy to take new information into consideration, just like biblical Mandela effect. And like I said, I haven't been able to prove it. I can't tell you exactly which scriptures off the top of my head, but look, I frequent the Bible. I'll Google it all the time, just particular for pinpoint scriptures. Or, sometimes I'll read a whole book or listen to an audio book. Or I'm always talking with people about it, dude. Trying to anyway. But look, just like politics and religion, it makes people, they get really freaking opinionated. And look, the statist religion, they are die hard, man. They are fucking tough as nails in their minds. Like, look, their head is harder than nails. And there's not much you can do to crack them, because look, they don't want to crack. And I don't mean crack in a bad way. I mean crack through the fucking the what's blocking you, your blockages, your mental bog down, that indoctrination, that's that wall that and in a metaphorical sense, it's like this: you're knocking at the door of their mind. It's not you so much as it is the message which you're bringing. You know what I'm saying? People take that the wrong way all the time. They think it's about you when it's not. It's about the message and the information and what it means.